Very good day to everybody. Thanks for clicking on to the Monday edition of Vogan's European Outlook. It was an action-packed weekend just gone. Tropical Outlook back on Saturday, and of course the live stream at 4 p.m. last evening. So do check out those videos. I'll leave links in the description below. There was also a little brief satellite special video that I recorded last night, issued earlier today, talking a little bit about what we're looking at with regards to the visible satellite imagery. Some very interesting things. The marine layer hugging the California coast, peeling back to the Pacific as the land heated up. We've seen a lack of cloud cover in areas of the central Atlantic due to lots of dry air. We had the wind shear, clouds moving in different directions through the vertical column of the atmosphere. So do check that out if you're interested in that. And I will try and do another couple of those satellite specials when there is interesting things going on. So all the more reason to stick around here on the channel. Content 7 days a week, absolutely free, and we'll look at the local as well as the global view. Now, speaking of global view, maximum smoke concentration. This is a very interesting tweet here by Ben Knoll. I meant to show this actually over the last couple of days, but forgot. Very, very significant amounts of, we're seeing that the Saharan dust sweep across the Atlantic from an east to west motion, but further north, aboard those westerly winds, we're seeing a very thick concentrations of Canadian wildfire smoke. Very, very serious situation over in Canada, but because of the strong westerly momentum within the middle latitudes, we've been seeing a lot of that smoke getting blown across the Atlantic and into many areas of Western Europe, may I add. We've been seeing areas of low pressure, and this smoke has been tangled up in these circulations and creating vivid sunrises and sunsets. I don't know how much influence this has been having down at the surface. I don't know whether there's been increased poor air quality, for example, down at low levels. I don't know if it's been suspended mainly in the mid and upper levels of the atmosphere, but nevertheless, interesting here how this graphic shows the amount of transportation of this wildfire smoke almost circumnavigating the planet here, traveling some 5,000 miles from Canada to Russia, across the UK, Ireland. We've been seeing that very vividly on visible satellite imagery, but I noticed last night that it was getting entrained down into France, even into the central regions of Europe here. So certainly interesting things going on at the moment, both within the subtropics and tropical Atlantic with the Saharan dust, and then wildfire smoke further north over the same basin. We are on a knife edge this upcoming week as we progress through it. We're going to be seeing more and more warmth getting lifted north. Temperatures as high as 42 Celsius in Spain yesterday, and that is a sign of things to come, unfortunately, as we go through this week. We're going to see areas of low pressure continuing to move eastwards over the western and central and eastern North Atlantic, while high pressure is going to start to retrograde west-northwest up towards the UK and Ireland, forcing these areas of low pressure to come up against that block of high pressure over Europe. That is going to then send energy northwards along with some very warm, very humid air, creating a situation where with the sunshine, with the southerly flow, and 850 temperatures, we're seeing that 564 decameter thickness line moving into the southern UK. That is a tropical or subtropical air mass. That is essentially the first time I believe that we've seen that thickness line moving into the southern UK, according to the models anyway, representative of subtropical origin air. With the sunshine, we are expecting to see low 30s anyway, with 850 temperatures knocking the door of 20 Celsius. I'll show you the Met Office model in just a second in terms of the 850 temperatures, or 5,000 foot level temperatures. Very significantly warmer, especially for early on in the season. So if we look at the current situation, this is the temperatures across the continent. We do have a slice of cooler air over Central Europe, including the North UK as well, especially the further north over the UK you go. We're holding on to around about 20 across southeast and southern England. we're seeing temperatures stuck in upper single figures up around the Loch Lascarnock area at the moment here. Again, low to mid-teens across Ireland and the Republic of Ireland. We've got temperatures knocking the door 40 again in central Iberia. We're seeing upper 20s across the south of France at the moment as well. Look, you can see here plenty of heat across the Balkans, Turkey, and up the eastern side of Europe also. Looking at the current temperatures across the UK then, we're holding on to some chilly conditions. Only 9 with a wind chill of 6.5 at Loch Lascarnock, 12s widely anywhere from from Altnahara, Tain, Inverness, Kinloss and Lossiemouth, all stuck at 12 Celsius at the moment under leaden skies. We've got another weather system moving across the top of the UK. Then we've got the low teens, again 12, 13 through the central belt. That's chilly for the afternoon of June 9th for sure. And then as you move further south over England and Wales, we're generally talking mid to high teens, a few 20s showing up around the greater London area. Looking at the latest lightning activity across Europe, then we've got some thunderstorm activity over Iberia, hence why we've got a little bit of a less intense heat. Yeah, we're still talking about 40 Celsius in central portions of Spain, but nevertheless, we've knocked down the temperature by a degree or two due to some convection blowing up. We've also got a line of convection, quite a large area here of thunderstorm activity, anywhere from Greece all the way up into subarctic Russia, as can be seen here over Poland, over parts of the Baltic region as well. We're seeing some lightning activity. Far eastern Turkey into parts of the Middle East, we're seeing some decent lightning activity as well here. Looking at the latest radar then image, or the visible satellite should I say, there's that Canadian wildfire smoke still showing up to the north of the British Isles at the moment here. Thick cloud cover suppressing those temperatures. There's some nice sunshine across the majority of France, and then we've got obviously some of that thunderstorm activity over parts of Spain and Portugal. There's that line of convection as well, stretching from Greece all the way up into subarctic Russia, as already explained. Looking at the current radar then over the UK at the moment, and we've got a lot of wet weather, especially northern UK, a little bit drier the further south you go, hence why we've got temperatures around about the 19-20 Celsius mark at the moment. So, in terms of the tropics, we still remain quiet across the Atlantic Basin, as explained in the last couple of days on both the Tropical Outlook and the live stream. But we do have two systems. So this is the third system in the East Pacific so far. Quite early to see a third system. We've got the Hurricane Barbara. That's the first of the 2025 season. I think that's the first Northern Hemisphere hurricane of the season. That actually, it's right on the cusp there, 75 miles per hour, pressure 991 millibars. Then we've got Cosme, also 65 mile per hour system, so not that far off hurricane status. But generally speaking, the Atlantic remains unfavourable at the moment. If we look at this visible satellite imagery, we've got the weather system across the central portions of North America. Associated cold front, we're continuing to see showers and thunderstorms blowing up along that boundary here. We've got you can actually see that kind of milky colour moving into the western side of the main development region of the Atlantic. That is that lobe of Saharan dust that exited the continent there back 4 or 5 days ago. It's now made its way towards the Eastern Caribbean. There's a lack of any convection due to that. And we've also got a lack of convection over the Northern Caribbean and also over the Gulf of Mexico. Large blow-up of thunderstorms over portions of northern South America and the Central America region as well. And we need to keep an eye on this area here as the Mount-Julian Oscillation starts to move into this region. Then you've got Barbara and Cosme spinning away off the southwest coast of Mexico. Thick marine layer, as can be seen here, along the California coast. That, again, like I said in the video earlier, is going to peel back to the coast as the temperatures and the land heats up. So, wanted to show you this here. Let's have a quick look then at the overview chart of the ECMWF weather system moving across the northern UK through the course of today, bringing a rather dreary old day out there for sure. Then we get a little bit of a break where that system moves into the near continent. We've got some hill snow over southern portions of Scandinavia, for example. A little bit of a break here. Temperatures are starting to warm up with the help of sunnier conditions. And then as we move towards this middle portions of the week, things get very interesting. Keeping an eye on this area of low pressure as it winds up, that's then pulling the winds up from the south. But we've also got a little feature here that is going to ride northwards, really destabilizing the atmosphere as we're heating the surface up, we're warming the surface, we're also increasing the humidity levels. And all it takes is this little spark to then create some very lively thunderstorm activity. Big cumulonimbus clouds is going to be likely to develop, and it looks as if particularly Northern Ireland, the Republic of Ireland, and western portions of the British Isles will see some very lively thunderstorm activity, potentially as early as Wednesday, but more so into Thursday and Friday. Further east, with sunshine, temperatures will likely surpass the 30-degree mark for the first time this year. But we've got a very volatile situation. Low pressure to the west, high pressure to the east, southerly flow, but energy and disturbances creating that enhanced lift that is going to increase the Cape values, or the amount of instability and lift within the atmosphere when you've got this type of scenario taking place. So let's have a quick look then at Cape, which is it going to give me this on the European model? I don't know. It's going to give me this. Let me just see here. Let's have a look at the 850 temperatures then. Go back to the current period. You can see here plenty of heat is stored up to the south over Iberia at the moment. Weather systems again moving from west to east across the UK, essentially pushing that warmth to the south. But it's as this feature here then moves out of the Baffin Straits, swings towards the UK and Ireland, but pressure building all the while across the west of Europe, then slows down that eastward momentum of that low, allows that heat to come up from the south. And we've got a situation here where we're right on that knife edge between very warm, humid air and that low pressure that's creating a channel for disturbances to run from south to north, creating that instability and potential for some significant showers and thunderstorms. You can see here that we, by the time we reach 21 UTC on Friday, this upcoming end to the week, and you've got some very, very warm air skirting the southeast corner of the British Isles. Less in the way of warmth the further west and north you go with the UK and Ireland, but it's right along that boundary here that we're most concerned. We could see some flash flooding, for example, but also some exceptionally warm temperatures for early June as well, with sunshine and temperatures likely at the very least upper 20s, low 30s is quite likely. Looking at the GFS model then, and you can see here same scenario as the European model here, but let me see here if we can bring up the Cape values. I don't know why I'm not seeing this, unfortunately, of the model. Let's kind of zoom in to a better viewpoint here and see if it's showing the levels of Cape. The greater the Cape values, the greater the lift, the greater the potential of some very significant downpours and thunderstorm activity. So play through this loop. This is the Cape values here and the 500 millibar geopotential heights. Like I said, the 564 thickness line is going to be moving up into the southeastern UK, representative of subtropical air. There's the Cape values livening up. You can see here during Thursday afternoon, a little bit over south of the UK, over parts of Ireland. Excuse me, but the main event, according to the GFS model, is over the west of Europe here through a decent swathe of France into the north of Italy as well. We could see some very powerful thunderstorms developing here, but I think the UK could be home to some very significant downpours, significant rain in a very short period of time, all that kind of stuff thrown in to the equation. This is the temperatures according to the Met Office model here by 15Z on Friday. We are talking about a 30 Celsius around the Greater London area, but widespread temperatures into the upper 20s, anywhere from the West Midlands into parts of Yorkshire as well. Temperatures into the low 20s across parts of southeast and northeastern Scotland, for example, but more in the way of cloud cover here, probably stopping this heat from getting too far north. But this is all subject to change, by the way. So we are going to continue to monitor this situation as we go through the course of the week. Wanted to show you the 850s then off the same model. By the way, this is a 15Z on Friday. Remember, this is 5,000 foot level temperatures here, and we are talking about temperatures of 20 Celsius at the 5,000 foot level. You can see it right here to the south of London on Friday at 21Z. Incidentally, so if you keep an eye on this, only 8-9 degrees Celsius at 850 over the far north of Scotland, 20 Celsius in the far south with upper teens widely across the Midlands and the south into East Anglia as well. But look at where we're starting off. This is what we currently have over the UK as of Monday morning. Minus temperatures across the far north, 2s and 3s widely across England and Wales. But it's as we see that area of low pressure moving in from the west, the high building over Europe here, that's drawn all that warm, humid air northwards. And you can see it. We can see another little lobe of cooler air on the backside of that exiting low that we've got currently today. Drags in some fresher air yet again. But it's as we progress steadily through the course of this week. By the time we reach Wednesday afternoon, we're talking about plus 10, 12, 13, 14 Celsius through the course of Wednesday. We've got a little ribbon of very warm air. Like, look at this here, 15, 16, 17 Celsius over the Irish Sea, for example, extending into parts of the Republic of Ireland, Northern Ireland, South Wales, southwestern England. So this is 18Z on Wednesday. We've got this tongue. Then the warm air shifts further and further north. A little bit of cooler air trying to mix in off the Atlantic. Then more lobes of warm air coming up from the south. So this is going to be quite a complex scenario as we progress through the course of this week. So stay tuned. We're going to look at potential maximum temperatures where the thunderstorms may occur over the next couple of days. So I hope you can stick around for that. And then, of course, you can check out all the content that has been released through the course of the weekend as well at your leisure. Enjoy the rest of your Monday, and we're back again, as always, tomorrow with more. Bye-bye.